and my subscribers. Very welcome to the TutorASRumale, the channel dedicated to the tutorials on computer science and engineering, artificial intelligence, software design, advanced technologies, and emerging trends. Here I am going to share only the knowledge regarding this and nothing else. I request you all to subscribe my channel, share it with your friends, relatives, and contacts which are interested in learning the technologies. Also, I request you to comment and like and suggest me the new topics to cover under this channel. Thank you very much, and welcome you all once again to my channel TutorASRumale. Let's see the today's topic. Thank you.
Of the session. Now I hand it over to the Dr. Rumale sir to continue the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So when it comes to tools and other things, we generally say the uh, thing that tools are necessary.
Recording in progress.
In this cyber security or any other thing. So let's first I just want to introduce my YouTube channel TutorASRumale. I can ask your students or you, if you like, can subscribe the channel. Okay. Now we'll go with the tools of the cyber security and forensic. So the hacking, sir has said, I'm not going to give the tools on hacking because hacking is literally different than what the portion that I'm connecting. I'm trying to teach or say I'm trying to deliver on the forensics, which is an investigation science. The after investigation is we are taking some detective thing to investigate the given thing. So if you visit net, if you say just so when we say this digital forensic tools, okay, so we'll first see what is digital forensics tools are different tools that we are going to introduce. I'm first saying these are the best forensic tools what they say. Okay. And these are the 15 best digital forensic softwares. So let's see first these softwares one by one. The introduction. In Google, if you search this, you will get. Just हेलो मैडम हेलो हाँ नहीं अभी सबमिट करने का है मुझे ठीक हाँ इसीलिए मैंने बोला ना कि अप्रूवल आने के बाद सबमिट करता हूँ So here you are having these different tools that we should have to go for forensic. Forensic happens after the crime have taken place, while hacking is the criminal activity. So I'm not going to give the details on the criminal activity of this hacking. This first thing that is the organize live operations. So here you are having these different tools which are mentioned here for the best computer forensic tools. One is the Pro Discover Forensics, Sleuthkit, Kine, PDF2, then you have this PDF Discover Forensic and likewise. Out of all these tools mentioned in any search on the Google, so they are giving the 15 tools here, okay, or you may get these 5 tools here, 7 best tools. if you see, which are updated in 2021. The one of the best tool that is used for the forensic is the Linux distribution, is called as a Kine. Okay, Kine actually is the combination of more than 15 or 16 tools together, more than 15 or 16 tools together. So, okay. So it actually gives you the deal thing. Just a minute. Okay, network is giving some issue regarding loading the Google. Okay, let me go back. And instead of saying tool, I'm saying digital forensic and CAINE, Kine. This is the tool I'm saying. This is the tool for digital forensic and not for what we call as an hacking. Okay, for hacking you can use any Linux. Best is the Kali Linux can be used for this hacking and everything. Now, what is this Kine? Is the computer forensics Linux live distro. So, I'm first going to introduce you the complete this software. First, you have to go to this Kine and just download the version of the Kine, the live distribution, 64-bit or 11 and the 32-bit and likewise. So when you download this Kine is used for investigation things, and there are many tools are there which are actually used in Kine. Many tools are there which are actually used in Kine. It's a if you go to the downloads in the Kine, and if you see the download for this, the recent version of Kine is live. Means you can't install it. You have to directly use it in a add as an ISO file, and you have to run it as an ISO. So you simply burn it on your DVD or CD ROM drive, this ISO file image, and then you can use it for doing the what can say the forensics. Now, what is forensics? When we say something is happened, let's say some data is there, say forensic is the art and science of collecting the digital evidence here, digital forensic, and we are talking about the digital forensics here. So first digital forensic is start with the CD itself. For example, when you download some material, for this material you get this hash code. Okay, and it says that is check the material for with this hash code, because if it creates the different hash code using this hash code generator, you can say that it is a damaged software, and that is the way of what can say creating the or say first step in a digital forensic. So you have this SH256 and you can check this hash code for your download. So actually what happened yesterday, I not downloaded, means actually it's around 3 point few GB in size, and that was quite a things in Kine. So let's go with the Kine's thing. I think all of you have opened your this site website Kine. Yeah. Now we'll go and we'll check Kine's distribution. We'll say ISO Kine 12.4. So we'll download this. So size is around 3.85 GB, and that is what the thing. I'm just saying skip right now because yesterday I tried to download the things. So this was here. So download is in progress. 1% was done. I'm just downloading now the kind. It's a pause. So we are going to download Kine 12.4 ISO. Now to run this ISO file, speed is very slow, and the Kine distro I am not having with me right now, so it's difficult to show the things. Let see whether network is allowed is download or not. It's 0 bits per second, so almost null. So let's say go with the Kine something this. You have to prepare to collect the digital evidence, some digital media. Let's say suppose if you are on a pen drive, this pen drive can be used to collect the digital what you can say data or the evidence from the crime scene or from some evidence which can relate. But for that purpose, you need to have this completely clean. Now how to do this cleaning? So when you enter, this is what we can call as say media preparation for forensic data collection. So when you have the pen drive, and when you enter this pen drive in your what you can say machine, what happens, you can format it. Yes, if you can format that pen drive, and when you format the pen drive, you can make something like say you are in the new format. So if you are in the pen drive with you, just insert it in your pen drive folder. Hello, am I audible? Hello. Downloading thing, and here you have to download the uh, can software. It's around 3.85 GB in the it's a complete thing. So can is the Linux distribution which you can use on the live CD. So when you download this is a first step, that you have to download it and then write it on the DVD or a CD, or if you are in the pen drive, then in a pen drive you can store this and then
Recording in progress.
run this using the pen drive. Okay, but just by entering the pen drive, you can make the pen drive bootable, and then you can run the Kane Linux distro to make the digital forensics possible. So the first experiment in digital forensics lab that we generally do is to prepare the media for collection of data. Now what you require to do to prepare the media for the collection of a data. Okay, let me stop sharing this and will show you what we have to do for that. uh, I'm sharing my entire screen so that you can see what we are actually doing. So this is the thing. Now I just enter what you can say the pen drive. We are doing this. These are very easiest techniques that we actually do. We enter our pen drive, and we can have this pen drive is here. Okay, and if you see the in pen drive among some contents and likewise, so I can say by right clicking on this pen drive, just by right clicking on this pen drive, we have this option here, format. I'm not going to format it, but just going to show you this what is this digital things. So in this format we got one option, that's what we call as a quick format. Yep, and we got this label. But if you want to do to prepare this in for storing the data, you can select the different file or you can say a file type, NTFS, FAT, AXC, FAT, and likewise, and then you can allow allocation in size, and you can restore the device to its defaults. When you restore the device to its defaults, it gives all things as the 00. Capacity for this is given. So generally, instead of doing the quick format, if you want to make this device, if you want to make this device enable to collect the data of the forensic measure, you have to make this device what you can say restore it to default. Means you have to clean out it completely. You have to clean it out completely. This is a simple thing. It's not something when we do the forensic digital forensics that we have to use every time programming and likewise. So when we do the digital forensic, we actually try to find out what means first the thing that is what is this data. Now when you have this Linux distro Kane, it is having this disk option there. Means if even if you go with this option of the Windows, you can do that operations, but it will give you a little what you can say. Just a minute. So when you say disk, you go with a disk cleanup. Okay, disk management, defragment, all these are this. And here you are in create and format hard partitions. So this is only for the hard disk. Okay, create and format hard disk partitions. So if I open this, I will go with these things. You can go with a disk cleanup and then run it as an administrator. So any these options, instead of go to disk manager, okay, run disk manager as a what you can say administrator. So you will get the different overview of this thing. So this is used to create the what you can say the device in which or the memory in which you are going to store all your data. This is the first thing that you go with a disk cleanup. So even defragmentation likewise. So now if I go with a disk manager, disk cleaner, even you can go with a disk partition. Let's see what is this disk partitions do. In forensic science and digital forensic, we are not actually using many what you can say the programs. Instead we go on collecting the data and creating the report, because the forensic is the science where after a crime is happened, we have to prove the relation between the crime criminal and victim, so that we can either means, use that person to what you can say to do some things, like say you can prove that person as a criminal in a court, or you can prove that person as a not guilty in a court. And that is what the basic behind the forensic. While the digital, okay, searching for this uh, digit, I'm not going to open that because this will open up with different things. Just now we have to see our logs and other things in Windows. Say we are using the Windows, that is comes in a forensics when we go to the Windows. Now if I want to know anything about this Windows, having program files, users, Windows, okay, and likewise. So if I go to this Windows, what I get only these thing, that is you have digital locker, digital track, and all say servicing setups. All these folders and files are there. Okay, but are these folders and files are going to give me any things? For example, if I go to this users and if you go to this public and I want to find out what is the log and everything, okay, this give me the detail information. So when we search on this, okay, uh, when we search on the Okay, when we search on these things, we can go with the particular folder, and likewise, and we can see the data in that particular folder. Is there any data or not? Okay, and here if we can set the things so that we can preview the things, we can see the folder, you can see select hide, you can check the items. Okay, you can check the hidden items. Okay, that is if I select the show hide, okay, and if I go with got these hidden folders. So in these hidden folders I can get different data. So you can have this complete data here. It's just not the program files, these are the program data which can be used. Now this data can be manipulated, or this data then can be used by many people, or you can say, so you can simply just by using certain commands in the your operating system, you can see the what you can say, the logs, or the what detail of your file. For example, if I go with this, okay, so just go to this C. Here C, you are having these users. If I go to this users, I get public and RGI. Now if I go on view, and if I enable the hidden items, okay, I get this default. If we go into the default, I get application data, desktop, documents, downloads, musics, and all things. If I go into the application data, I get local and roaming data. That is, if in local you get the temporary data. If you go in the temporary data, okay, if there is any data that is on temporary, I generally have a habit to clean everything, so you will not get any data on my these things. So you go to this here, and here data store is that when you use the Windows data store, all the logs history will be recorded in this train data store. Okay, that you have to clear, because if you keep that history there, then that history can be read by the what you can say, cookies of the different sites, and then they can use that data to throw some advertisement on your face, and to what you can say, launch some pop-up windows when you are surfing, and do many other things. So when you are doing all this, be clear, that is, you have to periodically clear this. Even if you are using these softwares, now you can go with thing, even you have to be very what you can say, careful about your cloud store logs, because that also gives an idea. Another thing, this what you can say, do here in this thing. Now to assess this, you require first thing, that is, when you go to this view, always enable or disable this hidden. So if it is hidden is enabled, you can go through all these things. Now you can even go to this desktop, music, and like, and you can get the what you can say, the different uh, uh, say set or the data for this thing. So this is the another set of what you can say, the practical you can say, in digital forensics. So suppose if I do something, you will have all this data. Even when you are actually doing anything which is related to what you can say, uh, copying, pasting, or something, all that data is generally, means if we say all these things, we have to be very careful regarding this data and log files on your computer. All these log files are there. So for example, whenever you download something, if you click on the downloads, the download will be measured here, but this downloads log can be in the user. So you have to be very what we say as a, what we actually do, we are assessing something. When you click on this quick access, okay, we get all the quick access for this thing. what we have visited and likewise. So what this is a log. This log is the what you can say the forensic data which can be used to give the complete information regarding your what you can say uh, usage or your habit of usage on the particular computer. For example, just now the case of Himalayan yogi and share market. So what they have done, this has gone through the email of the particular that lady, uh, Chitra. I am not recalling the complete name, but it's a very recent case. Means 1 or 2 days back, it was on the media. That is, say, so when you are accessing, say, Google workspace, email, and I something. Uh, I'm just giving you the idea because I'm not right now not having this Kine downloaded completely, and because Kine is not downloaded completely, it is quite difficult to give you the actual practical. So I'm just giving these things. But these are the practicals generally we do in a forensics. Okay, that is, I want to search the history of my name. I did where if you go into the internet account, you can search the history of the internet by email. But how this without going in someone's account is possible? No, not possible. Even if you go into, say, for example, I'm just showing the surface history of Google. Now if you go to the Google and if you press on the account and my account security, there you will get all the details that Google is keeping your data for a very high time and likewise. So this is one thing that you have to keep in mind. Then there is another thing that you can do in a forensics. Suppose someone is scanning or not, you have to be very ready with a securing your complete device. So when you are ready securing with complete device, you should have to have a reasonable or can say spyware detection facility that you have to run every now and then. Let's say after every 10 days or 15 days you have to run it. Then you also have to have some third party antivirus. I am having this antivirus here to keep audiences safe apart from your Windows antivirus or apart from your what you can say college system antivirus, because that's going to save the data from your what you can say these attackers, and your firewall must have to be configured accordingly. For example, if you having this AVG antivirus that I'm using, it says that is my computer is protected, webmail is protected, okay, and it I have certain issues, okay, and that is thing is saying that is saying that is computer requires the restarting likewise, and after every 10 days or after every 15 days I used to clear all my logs. Why that is necessary to clear the logs? Because it also slow down your PC when the data get temporary data get accumulated most in the logs, and to what can say hide these to keep your PC in a speed, you have to slow down, so you have to delete many things, and there are what you can say disk manager. So you have the disk management in here. This can be used. I'm not going to do the operation right now on any disk, but I'm just showing that is if you have this disk manager, you will get such type of partition system, and likewise. Now if I enter this insert my uh, pen drive in it, it will also check that there is a pen drive here. Now I can make this pen drive from this disk management, preparing this. just right click on it, and you can say change drive letter and format. Now when we go for this format here, the option will be different than the first. Okay, you are not seeing the perform. Okay, and you what you can say, you can use FAT32 is not using. You can go for this NTFS, which enables file and folder compression. Then you can use, instead of default, you can choose the building blocks of your means the moving blocks. Here you are having 512 bytes. Instead of that, so you can go on choosing the different things. So even you can create the extended or FAT file here, so that you can go and do the things. So you have to clean this, wipe the things first. Once you wipe these things first, okay, and you have to run this as an administrator. I have not run this as an administrator, but you have to run this utility as an administrator. Clean the entire, what you can say, data, that is format it, and then give some partition into it. Means even if there is a 7 GB, you can partition it into 4 GB parts, and you can save the data that is you want to acquire from the other people. Now when you are having such type of system, where right now are going, and you want to say do something, let's say suppose recording the system state. Right now everything is going on, and you know that is this session is recorded at your end, but what about me? I just want the recording. In that case, what? So there are what can say, the screen recorder utilities available, free and open source which are generally used by the forensic operators to show that when they are doing this getting this data or anything, they are not doing anything mischievous. Means अपने डाटा मैनिपुलेट करके कॉपी नहीं कर रहे हो. So for that purpose, the best tool use is this OBS. This OBS tool, right now here you are having this OBS tool. It can record the part of your screen, or it can record the entire screen, and likewise. So based on that, you can run such tools behind. So your communication will be recorded with the people. Your communication, that is like right now this communication is going on. So I'm having a evidence, digital evidence, or a collected digital evidence, which get saved here. For example, morning sessions, they are recorded automatically by this OBS studio, and those sessions are put here in the video. So we are having this entire session for this morning, and this is the current session which is in recording. So these are the simple things to accept, or what you can say, to create the digital data for the digital forensics. Whenever a crime happens, these things are there. Now there are certain methods in a digital forensic lab, so that is identifying the culprit or the suspect from the list of friends and something. Now that again, you won't require any technology to use. You requires only the deductive mind. So it actually takes the history or the log of that complete user account and try to check date wise, month wise. Is a very tedious act to do. Forensic is not easy like an hacking, because in a forensic you need to go for tracks. So suppose someone have committed a crime, and that person data is available on Facebook. Okay, crime is committed physically, that is say someone looted someone's house, and police found that the person who looted the house is in a friend list on the Facebook. Okay, obviously he is not a friend. You just accepted the friend request from this person. Then that part of the friend request, you have to be careful while accepting. But now what police will do, or what the forensic expert will do here, it will check the activities of all your friends. So it will divide your friends in active and passive. Active means those who have sent the messages, okay, to you or responded to you. So they'll find that is okay, there are few persons who are responding regularly, there are some persons who are responding intermittently, and there are some persons who are not responding at all. Generally the criminal are from that space, not responding at all. So what will go, the forensic expert will do, it will try to find out who was at means, the friend, and what is the relation. So on deduction it will come to know that okay, these three or these two are maybe or may not be related with that particular thing, and that data will be stored. Okay, so this data, forensic data, evidence, digital evidence data need to be stored in a hard disk, which should have to be clean. There must not have to be any other data on that hard disk first. While you that's why you require to format the device, uh, even if it is already empty device, new device, you still need to format it before getting the digital evidence on the device. So this is the first experiment that you can have. Now if you go to this can, I'm just running some videos directly from the can site for it's taking too much time to download. The network is having certain problems. Um, so if you see this difference is there. Okay, I just have to show you the size for this can is 3.85 GB. Okay, so it's around 4 GB. It's a Ubuntu based distribution. And let's say you want can users galleries there where you can get the different thing or tutorials and other things for this can user. How to install. There are certain rules here in Kenya as well. So here you are having the manuals I'm seeing. So a tutorial about cane is okay by Blue Monkey is here. Let's see what this Blue Monkey is there. Uh, So, okay, Blue Monkey is the cane user, and here you are having different practicals of this. Okay, cane forensic tools tutorials are already available here. Okay, then it's okay. That is.
When it comes to cybersecurity, endorsement from IIT Bangalore on your resume could make all the difference that's needed. Welcome.
We'll see the
Hello and welcome to the
forensic.
Forensics
I'm
Distro
just playing the video for you. One video from
In
this.
this video, we will cover how
Forensics.
to use Kane's GUI tools to create forensically prepared media. In digital forensics, a recommended procedure is to only use forensically prepared media to store digital evidence. The steps to forensically prepare media include wiping, partitioning, and formatting the drive. We will be using the Disks utility to do this. You can access the tool from the Kane menu, and then Accessories and Disks. Make sure your destination drive is connected, and then select it from the left side of the Disks tool. Double check on the right-hand side that you have the correct device by verifying the make, model, size, and serial number. Wiping the wrong disk will make for a very bad day. Next, click on the hamburger menu and select Format Disk. Once the Format Disk panel comes up, let's look at the options for erase. There are a few choices here depending on the type of disk you've selected. You have the option
That is override existing data with zeros here, and there we are using in a disk manager of the Windows. The things are the same, one and the same thing.
for don't overwrite existing data, which is the quick format, or you have overwrite existing data with 0, which is the slow formatting. And if you have a SSD selected, then you will have a third option of ATA Secure Erase. For this example, we can just choose the overwrite existing data with 0, which is the slow formatting. Select a partitioning scheme. You have the choice of a MBR, the master boot record, or GPT, the GUID partition table. MBR is the old scheme.
MBR is our PAT, file allocation table, or master boot record, or DOS table thing. Its capacity is less, but it is quite compatible with almost every type of operating system. So if you use the MBR, it is your forensic storage unit become quite what you can say universal in space.
And still in use today. Some limitations include only allowing up to 4 primary partitions and the support of up to 2 terabyte drives. GPT is the new scheme, and some prefer this especially for its data recovery abilities if the drive was to be corrupted. For the purpose of using this disk as the destination media for imaging, MBR is perfectly fine. Once the wipe has completed, you can click on the plus symbol to create a partition. By default, the tool will know the maximum amount of space available and use that. Computers are smarter than me, so I generally take their advice. For the volume name field, I recommend using the case number so it can be easily identified.
Being a forensic scientist, many times we need to give. If you some case come to you, you are given with a case number. This case number is like you will get a region code, the year, then the IPC, or what you can say penal code, the major penal code for that case. And so, like say, suppose for the crime happened in Pune, okay, in 2022 February, and today's date 21. So you will have this 2022 02 22 dash PN dash, then the cybercrime, whatever the acts are there, Information Technology Act, IPC, and those is used. Or you may use a simple code for cyber stalker as a CS, for cyber what you can say defamation as the CD, and likewise, and we can create that volume. Now when we create this volume, why these label are given in this way? Because that makes actually your evidence admissible in court. Otherwise court won't accept it. Means if I store the data as a ASR and something, then that is not even acceptable sometimes in a court.
When this disk is plugged into your forensic workstation. For the erase option, this allows you to erase the data just for the underlying space within this partition, and there is no need to do that if we have already wiped the entire drive. For the type of file system, you have the choice for ext4, which is a standard file system for Linux. This is probably optimal for us if we are going to examine the data with a Linux workstation. You can optionally select to encrypt the data, but you should check with your own standard operating procedures on your data security policy. The second choice is NTFS, which is widely used with Windows. So choose this if you intend to perform your exam on a Windows machine. The third choice is FAT, which gives you the most portability as the disk can be read by Windows, Mac, or Linux. But there are some limitations, such as file sizes that must be smaller than 4 gigs, so it's not usable for holding large raw DD files or EO1 chunks greater than 2 gigs. Click on the Create button to create a file system on that partition. Notice the status on the bottom of the pop-up panel will change to reflect the file system you have chosen. Once completed, you can click on the triangle to mount that partition, or click on the minus to delete that partition. Once you have wiped, partitioned, and formatted the drive, you can verify it by physically disconnecting it and then plugging it back into your system. Here it's waiting for the physical drive to be recognized in disks. Once it is recognized, you can click on the triangle to mount the partition. You should see the disk on the desktop with the volume name we gave it. Since we used our case number, it's easily identified. Now
this is
we
the
are
good source of what you can say hands-on practicals, tutorials on cane for digital forensics. I think how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there are total 14 14 no, there are total 15 tutorials are there. So total 15 practicals are ready. That is coming from this Kane website. That is from this Blue Monkey, which is again the active what you can say participants in digital forensic. Many times the freelancers they won't give their original name or something. Scorpion, Blue Monkey, and these type of things are there, and sometimes they even they disown themselves by saying that these are their own work. Okay, because somehow when we go on actually catching the criminals, we also have to think like a criminal, and that is one part I say. Now you want to install the cane. Let's see the video for this cane, how to install. This is a old video, cane 8.0, cane 7.0. I don't know how much help this kind will give you in installing this thing. Okay, but if you go through this you can install the thing very easily. Again, this is I think a YouTube video that they are having. I'm giving this from the kind website because okay, so it says that is workstation. You have to go. That is when you enter this CD. This is what happened. But now the distribution is live, so you won't require to install like this. Okay. So let me close this. Now the what this says that is booting cane via other things, and here you are having the complete information about what cane and what is not. Okay, and what are the things? So is a guide for this cane, which is again 6.0 means very old version. Right now 12.4 is going on. So instead of opening that, if you want, you can go here and you can see the tutorial cane guide on English. That is what exactly this guide is saying, and how to install cane. That is a computer-aided investigation environment. So when we see this cane user friendly and other things, we will get the details for the cane project here. So again, tutorials are there. This is not a problem. Let me show you the size of this disk cane 12.0 that we are having. I think it will be good for you if you go through this Blue Monkey tutorial. Let's see what is randomly if we check the forensics fifth application, that is a create forensically prepared media.
You're counting down the
Now,
seconds until you can skip
what
the
would
ad,
they
right?
do is-
I get it. But what if you never had to watch an ad again? What if you had a browser that actually
Hello, and welcome to the Cane Forensics video series. In this video, we will look at DD Rescue-GUI, a GUI tool for drive recovery. GNU DD Rescue is a data recovery tool that will copy data from one file or block on the command line.
So this
Let's go ahead and launch
data
DD
recovery,
Rescue GUI from the Cane menu under Forensics Tools
and
disks.
all these tools
By
that
default,
Kane
the
is given
program
here.
will
These tools are also available. What say? They are all available individually. The Kane is just what you can say the gather all these forensic tools in one operating system, and then you can use that through that operating system to use on the different devices for forensic purpose. Another thing, Ken is using this. Ken is live bootable, and it's not you won't require to install it. Will help you in many cases. Means if you make an bootable or you can say run this drive of the cane, it's just a matter that you can go to someone's laptop, insert your pen drive, and just ask to run the can will be run, and when you run this kine you can analyze the entire PC or entire what can say, the computer of that person, and it have a different what can say applications to work with. So here if you go with the applications, we can have many such. In scan 6 I think is for uh, photo rector, that is file
Hello,
carver
and
data
welcome to the Kane
recovery.
Forensics video series. In this video, we will look at the QPhotoRec tool for data recovery. PhotoRec is a file data recovery software designed to recover lost files, including video, documents, and archives from hard disks, CD-ROMs, and lost pictures from digital camera memory. You can retrieve lost.
So you got a good collection of
Hello, and welcome to the Kane Forensics
different
video series. In this
application
video,
forensics
we will look at the
applications for
3
using
hashing
the
tools on the Kane
Kine.
Forensics
It's
distro.
available through Kine only. Here you are having this. So there are guide, because this operating system or Kine is not that popular among the mainstream. It is popular among the only forensic enthusiasts, and there is a lot many manuals missing here, because all the tools that are used in Kine those are already those tools are already in what can say available separately, and for every tool there is a different manual, separate manual is available. So if you go through those manuals, you can learn the tools, and then you can use the Kine and those tools using Kine to do the forensics operation. So I think this introduction of Kine is sufficient for this first hands-on. Now let me show you the size of this, because I just tried to download it, but I failed once. I just once again I'm trying to download it. After I say obviously if we download it, I'm going to show the same. I think here is this Kine, and it's total 3.85 GB of the size to download. So with this speed, and this thing is quite difficult for me to. It's going to require around 1 hour 36 minutes to download. My net speed is not sufficient. So I will download the Kine today at home, and tomorrow we will go live using the Kine. And at the same time I also insist you, or request you actually, to download the Kine on at your place on your machines, and go through the Blue Monkey, because we as a forensics what can I say enthusiast, we are going to follow all those applications. So whether the Blue Monkey or me, okay, we are going to show you the same type of practicals and same type of things, because that is the standard procedure given by law. When you say law, let me stop this downloading first. When you say law or something, there is one aspect assigned to this complete what you can say forensic. Now what that aspect is, that whenever you have some data, or what we call as a digital evidence, that we need to send from one place, we actually acquire to prove or refute the crime. So what happens? You go to the crime place. Let's call this as a CP. So you go to this crime place. At a crime place, you get three evidences. At crime place, you get three evidences. One is weight evidence or body evidence, okay, which is the primary evidence in any crime. Which is primary evidence in any crime. Nowadays, every crime involves all the evidence. So I'm taking the general crime. Okay, then you will get the circumstantial evidences, that the eyewitnesses or certain situations. And whenever you approach a crime, there is an involvement of digital evidence directly or indirectly. Directly or indirectly. I'm just discussing one case with you for this. There was one person, a husband, uh, doing some job in IT company. I'm not going to reveal the places or something for these people. And he was having a very good wife. Okay, very good wife. She was working at again the IT industry, but in some places. So, for our sake of what we can say convenience, just consider this person is working in Nagpur. This person working in Nagpur, and consider this lady working at Pune. This lady working at a Pune. So what happened in their married life? This husband started doubting the wife for having some affair, because he said that is why she is not ready to leave her job and stay with me. Okay, something happens like that, and he started doubting. So his doubt become what you can say his baggage, and he decided to clear the wife out of his way. So he searched, he used the computers, different computers in the premises of his company, but of different people at a different days and everything, for searching certain things. Then once he came to the place of wife, visited that, and use arsenic. Arsenic is one type of odorless, colorless powder. It looks like salt something, and put that in almost all the edible items in the house. And arsenic is very easily available at any homeopathic shop, as a homeopathic medicine. If you know, you can use the same thing as a medicine and same thing as a fatal poison. So what happened? And he left for his job. He left for his place. Then this wife actually consumed the food, what you can say, contaminated with arsenic, and she got pores in her body, internal body, and due to the internal bleeding and other things, due to that she died. The maid in that house actually doubted the things. So maid said, how it's possible that such a good lady will die so suddenly? So she reported to the police. Reported the police. Police saw the complete situation. Husband gone 7 days before. Wife is dead due to internal bleeding and something, and there is nothing which is doubtful in the house, and likewise. So they inform the husband about the demise of his wife. He come like he know nothing about it, and with all the grief and everything, police searched the entire house, and they found that the complete many food that she used to consume were contaminated with arsenic. So they have sent that to the forensic lab. So forensic expert says that to use arsenic in such way is possible only if the person know how to use it, and only pharmacists or the doctors can know that how to use, and how what proportion must have to be there. So they started saying that she must have something. Now he say maybe and may not be, but police come to his company, and check for his what you can say behavior and everything. So one of his colleagues said, okay, he is very good, gentle person, but whenever he want to do any search, he never use his own computer. He never use his own computer. So what? He used someone else's computer from the laboratory, some computers from the laboratory, and so they go into all laboratory computers and they tried checking logs and everything. Now the criminals and the investigators, they have the similar type of mind. They clean everything. But what happens? You clean your PC. You clean your PC, but this PC have sent some request at ISP. This ISP have sent this request somewhere. So everywhere you are having the browsing log or what you call say trails stored. Now these all browsing log and everything have given information to the police that this person, the husband, actually searched for what you can say non-detectable poisonous substances, okay, and for the last around 6 to 7 month. That was the only evidence they were having which can relate the administration of this uh, arsenic into the system of the victim. So they put this as a digital evidence which was not at a crime place, was before the crime place. That is what we call as a passive crime or passive attack, collecting the data. Sometimes you are collecting the data of technique also. So he collected that data. That digital evidence was then put forth before the court, and court, after observing the complete case, based on this digital evidence is one type of circumstantial evidence because it's situational, says that even there is no direct proof to prove that the husband is the killer, okay, the digital evidence proves that the husband actually search for the usage of arsenic and which have no relation with the profession he is right now practicing. He is an IT professional, so why he should go for the searching the arsenic and likewise. So there is a strong what you can say correlation between the admission of the administration of that arsenic into his wife's food and this search, and they actually what you can say punish him for the particular offense, again life sentence uh, and something. So digital evidence is very necessary. So digital evidence, when you say forensic cyber crime and forensic, we are not talking about hacking and cracking, we are talking about what and how you are going to check this hack and crack after things happen. For example, let's if you go with this hack and crack things, just another thing what exactly happened. Now hacking is not very easy. Actually, Locard's law of exchange works everywhere, and this Locard's law of exchange says that, say, suppose you are at this place, one place here, okay, and you want to hack this person. Let's consider this is the B. Yeah. Here, the person A is here, and A want to hack the system of B. So what A will do? A will send some message, something to this B because it's required to access to this. But when it access, the log will contain here the IP address of sender. So that can be used very easily to locate A. So to avoid this, what A is doing, to avoid this, what A is doing, A instead of sending using this way of hacking direct, okay, one to one, is actually sends it to one proxy. Okay, now this is one proxy, you are seeing P1. Now it may send from this one proxy to another proxy. This may send this data to one proxy to another proxy. This may send this data to another proxy. let's say suppose there are such k proxies are there. आपने यहाँ पर k proxy बना दिए, and after that this going access the B. So what happened? B is having the IP of this proxy. Now let's say attacker is in India. This A attacker is in India, and this B is also in India, just sitting 10 feet away from the A. Just sitting 10 feet away from the A. But this proxy, first proxy is in Australia. Just consider Australia. This in China. This in South America. Okay, and consider this in Russia. This in Russia. So when the B complaint regarding the hacking to the cyber cell, cyber cell first come to B's computer and checks all the history, and they found that okay, this hacking was done from Russia. Now, as soon as it goes to Russia, you are crossing the border of countries. So to get the permission to search this data in Russia is required to abide by the legal treaties and legal what you can say agreement between two countries. Okay, so suppose uh, Indian government and Russian government agrees for the further investigation. They come to Russia for this server. They got the data of South America. All this cost of investigation sometime need to be bear by the victim, because obviously you have to if that important he will go for that. Now if you are having say k such proxies, then police will simply go on jumping here and there. Meanwhile, with that as the time pass, these proxies will clear out some such traces. तो क्या होगा? When this comes to this proxy, it will not get any link which is directing things to the attackers, and that's why it is not the attacker's brilliance or intelligence. It is just the complexity of internet which makes cyber forensic very difficult. Even if you store all the data and everything, you don't know how it going to work, and for this purpose they are using the dark net. Now what is darknet? That you have to use the Tor browser. There are many other browsers are there, or called as onion browsers. You can use that and can go. But my own suggestion is that if you are planning to go for the darknet, usage of using the darknet, okay, be prepared for something what you can say, that is when we accept and get something, you won't get only the prize, you also get the thorns. You won't get the only flowers, you may get the thorns. So darknet is very dangerous thing to go into. So if you really want to go into the darknet, or you want to use the Tor browser or something, be prepared that you are under watch by these spy agencies for certain type of activities. ISPs are given, government are keeping watch on such people. Okay, they can't find out what that person is doing or not, but at least they know that the communication taken made by this person was over the darknet. Because this communication is also encapsulated and encrypted, it is quite difficult to break it, but still we can manage, this can manage to identify. And these crackers are actually taking the advantage of this proxy chain. It's very easy. Now if you are using the Kali Linux, you have just like Kine is for forensic, that is you are trying to analyze the things after crime, and Kali Linux is like you are trying to commit the crime. Okay, so they are the two different aspect of the same thing. One is the east thing, another is the west thing. Means yeah, that is the same. So kine is what you can say the investigative thing, or the forensic, or when you say digital crime and digital forensic, it is investigative. It is not what you can say initiative, or of what you can say the starter or initiator. It is the end of the process. That is a thing that we have to go through things. This type of attacks are also there when we use Kali and something. Another thing is that whenever you are using these type of practicals, you want to means carry out the practicals for cyber security, digital forensic, or even ethical hacking. Don't forget to use virtual machines. Okay, create the victim virtual machine and create the what you can say offending virtual machine. Do not try it on any other's actual PC. मतलब अभी if you go on doing this on the other PCs and something, and things are that thus that if you fail, if that person won't allow you to give this permission to hack or crack, when you with permission of someone, when you enter into the system, it is called as a ethical hacking. Means they give you the permission to enter into their system, but without any key. So you have to find your way in, and if you find your way in and show them that you are in the system, they actually rewards you, because you are not doing the crime. Instead you are trying to show them the vulnerability of their systems. So that is what you call as a ethical hacking. That is a different thing than digital forensic. Okay, digital forensic is checking, collecting the data, means the evidence, preserving that evidence in such a way that the evidence must have to be admissible in a court, so that the culprit, if or the offender, or what you can say the criminal, if caught, must have to be uh, pushed behind the bars. So if you are having any questions, queries, you can ask me.
Yes, participants, if any query, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can put a question in chat box as well. Dr. Rumale sir, we have 10 minutes of a break from 3:45 to 4.
Okay, sir.
Would you like to take a break, or should you
Yes,
want to continue?
yes, break.
Okay, sir.
हेलो मैडम, हेलो, हाँ, मैं अभी कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल में बैठा हुई है, अपने स्टूडेंट कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम है ना, वहाँ पे बैठा हुई इसके, ये अपना स्टूडेंट कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं कर, TNP के बाजू के, वहाँ पे आके बैठा हूँ मैं आज थोड़ी देर के लिए. हाँ हाँ.
Okay. Participants, if no queries are there, we will have a break of up to 4 o'clock, and we will begin at 4 o'clock. Thank you. Dr. Rumale sir, one question is there from the participants in the chat box. What is proxy P1, P2 and P3?
आता सध्या मॅडम ओपी सानिका वर युरिक ऍसिड राहिलं बसूनच असतो. Okay, sorry. This is question. I think. Sir, shall we start now?
Sir, another 10 minutes.
Okay. Sir. See, a recording. I'm just checking whether my recording is going on or not.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So here, this is what about the proxy server. You just go to this site, javatpoint.com proxy server list. It will give you the all the list of proxy server right now active. Okay, and also give you some detail that port that we are using. Okay, uptime, proxy speed, anonymity of the proxy, that is a transparent. Now if the proxy server is transparent, anonymity is transparent, it means that a target server knows the IP address of the system that we are using and also knows the user is connected via this proxy server. So we the hackers, just to say, when you want to hack somebody's PC, I'm not going to show the code because that sometimes without what you can say, if you don't know the things in detail, you may end up doing something which will cause harm to you. So do not use transparent servers because transparent server are like non-existent server. So which server they use? This uses these anonymous servers. Okay, that means the target server or the target never come to know what is the IP of the A. Okay, and elite is again the proxy approximity, that is anonymity is maintained. Now to go through these proxy servers, one must have to be very what I say, if you want to go through these proxy servers, this is what we have to go through. These are the different proxy IP port. Latency is given, server speed is given, and their countries are given. Now what these hackers do, they just go through these things and they checks the status whether they are anonymous proxy or transparent proxy. They never choose the transparent proxy. Okay, means transparent proxy is like if you means if you are using transparent proxy, okay, if you are using the transparent proxy and you are here, and even if you are having the 1,000 proxies here, all transparent, and this is your target, for target, these things are non-existent because transparent proxies transfer the message with your IP address to the receiver. But when you have the anonymous proxies, what happens here? You are here and the target is here. This anonymous proxy, what they do, they maintain their own table, lookup table. There they maintain your IP, and then they just simply what you can say replace that with their own, and so they transfer it to the another. They transfer it to another, and so when this come to this target, and if target want to trail back, reverse back, what they get, the IP address of the proxy and not the source. अटैकर्स का आईपी एड्रेस उसको मिलता नहीं, प्रॉक्सी का मिलता है. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू दिस प्रॉक्सी ओनली गिव द आईपी एड्रेस ऑफ द फर्स्ट प्रॉक्सी. नाउ जस्ट कंसीडर if some crime happens in a close proximity of two police stations. So suppose this is one police station and this is the another police station. Then this police station, both police stations are given with the jurisdiction boundaries. ठीक है ना, jurisdiction boundaries दी होती है police stations को. And police stations usually don't like to you can say waste their time in the boundary lines which is crossing their jurisdiction. So they generally say that is okay, the case is in your jurisdiction. This police station say no, case is in your jurisdiction. The same thing happens with the countries also. Countries are also on the boundary and likewise. So if the data is in another country, so if you go through this proxy system, next consider first proxy that you was the last proxy from which you received is in France. You are in India. The Indian government need to use take special permission, whatever it is. Next, you got things in India, sorry, in France, but then the next proxy is in Indonesia. Then next proxy may be in the Russian Federation. The next proxy may be in Brazil. Then Argentina. Then you are once again coming to France. So the investigation become quite difficult in the digital forensics. Hackers generally use this anonymous proxies and detail, and it's very means thing. Then they also consider this list and likewise, and these proxies when used by the anonymous uh, what you can say the attackers or hackers, they are what you can say very easy. In say suppose your organization is having some, your organization, ठीक है ना, आप अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हो. सो हियर इज योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, यहाँ पर आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का सर्वर है और यहाँ आप हो, ठीक है, and you are connected with this, then you can simply bypass all these, okay, or communication just by using the proxies, क्योंकि your server will get full that the message is coming not from you but from the proxy, क्योंकि ये मैसेज पहले यहाँ नहीं जाता, वो प्रॉक्सी को जाएगा, प्रॉक्सी से ये होगा. सो जनरली दिस फायरवॉल what you can say bypassing and other things are done by using the proxy servers, and you can create your own proxy servers also. So there are anonymity maintained, there are high anonymity, low anonymity. High means the elite, and so this is the free proxy list. You can go and you can check and you can use this, but before using this, keep in mind that using the proxy chain, okay, using the proxy chain is prohibited by law, uh, because it comes under the contraband activities. And there are two type of proxy chain. One is called as स्टैटिक प्रॉक्सी चेन, मतलब आपके जो प्रॉक्सी होते हैं वो सीरियली पता होते हैं सबको, दैट इज योर प्रॉक्सी 1, प्रॉक्सी 2, प्रॉक्सी 3, प्रॉक्सी 4, प्रॉक्सी 5. व्हेन आई से पता होते हैं सबको मीन्स दैट इज known to you and the close circle, okay, because this proxy chain is not 2 or 3 or 5 proxies. You generally hackers uses more than 100 proxies, because that makes more you are under the proxies, more you are invisible. This is a simple rule for this. So आपके इतने proxies है और वो proxies लेते हुए they will choose these proxies not from the close proximity. अगर first proxies is on this side of earth, the second proxies comes to this side of earth, third goes here and fourth goes there. Likewise, so if the investigation team want to investigate, they need to roam the entire earth and still they won't get, because when they are going from one country to another country, they have to abide by the rules and regulation of those countries to collect that data. And likewise, so many times the hackers attacks are undetectable, not because hackers are very brilliant, it's just because the technology is like that, and we can't help because that is our basic architecture of the technology and we are exploiting it. We means human, we all are potentially this is my what the book says on criminology, that every person is potentially a criminal. Okay, so when we go on doing this, yes, we do some type of malpracticing now and then, and that is what they call, that's why they call this as a potential criminality. So these proxies are used, but if you are want to use these proxies, now if you see this India, all proxy servers in India are transparent. Yeah, all proxy servers in India are transparent, except these three, India, Ahmedabad, and this India, elite proxies address are there. They are not transparent. Okay, some of the only two there are anonymous, but anonymous doesn't mean that the server still know who you are and what you are. But the simply thing is that everything is controlled by the software, so it is quite difficult to trace you back, and that is what the generally the hackers do. But this was observed by the criminal or say investigators, that whenever the hacker do hacking, they usually don't try to use any server from their native country, because that will leave some traces, and that will what you can say engage the country in some way. So instead they uses always the outsider. For example, 3 or 4 months back, and a hacker actually attacked some people in Pune. They got the many people in Pune actually got their bank account emptied, and when they found this bank account emptied on the debit and credit card cloning using this, so they check that communication of these victims with the what you can say the messages, and they found that proxy first was in China, and second was in Russia, third was in Australia, fourth was in Japan, third and fifth was in that North Korea, and like that. So if you go with this proxy chains, approximately checking the thing, okay. A static proxy chain, you know the proxy chain things, and now there is a dynamic proxy chain. Dynamic proxy chain means you select the 100 proxies, you select the 100 proxies, but every time when you communicate with the what you can say the target, the communication happens dynamically through the prince. So every time these 100 proxies get shuffled, reshuffled, and so even if someone want to what you can say locate the things, he will get almost 100 options here for the single communication. Means your email, which actually you have sent to this person may receive this person in 100 pieces, each piece from a different proxy, each piece from a different proxy. And so the receive at the receiving end, if the investigation team goes on investigating, or that forensic team, they find it very difficult to identify the culprit or identify or locate the hacker. And this may happens that your hacker may be just sitting 10 feet away from you or just next to you, मतलब आपके सामने बैठ के आप कोई भी आपको हैकिंग का ये कर सकता है, बट प्रॉक्सी इज इन साउथ अमेरिका. So you are actually getting communication from the South America, and the communicator is just sitting before you. That happens. And what this do, if the anonymity is there, it simply replaces the IP address of sender. It simply replaces the IP address of sender and adds some what you can say imaginary IP address there, sender's address. Sometimes proxies, sometimes some dynamically generated arbitrary IP address is added there, and then message is forwarded. And they just simply maintain a lookup table so that the communication goes on. The same thing goes in a Tor browser. Tor browser is actually the project of US defense thing. They says that they are not spying on you, but the only thing is that whatever the darknet, whatever the wave you are having, it is like if you are online, that means you are not means you are actually like in your baby suit. Okay, online means everything is public. You can't hide anything. You can't. So if you are using any type of digital device which is connected with the other device using communication link, that simply means that you are in a danger of hacking, cracking, likewise. So what are the measures to? मतलब ऐसे अगर if you are in these many servers to work with, how you can safeguard yourself, that is very difficult. Work means after studying the entire security system for these many days, what I understood that till date the world is really running on trust. मतलब right now we are sharing data with each other, we trust each other. Okay, we trust each other. It is just the betrayal someone is doing there which causes the this error, and that is why things are there. So when it comes to communication, generally transparent communication happens through the white web, or what you can say HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol with a secure shell or secure sockets. One only thing is that is again I am saying generally. Sometime even this layered communication happens through the white web. Okay, sometimes genuine communication happens through the dark web. So there is nothing here. Dark web means you are saying that the percentage of offenders is more, percentage of offenders is more. So if anybody is interested in knowing how to use this proxy and likewise, you just go and Google for free proxy list. Okay, you will find many free proxy lists. Then you have to check whether these proxy servers are really available or not, because at any no government will like to have this proxy server work for them. So we can use that. So here he is saying the spies one, and likewise a list of hide your IP address, proxy list. Okay, so this list of the is there. From this you can get these things. Now the problem with the proxy server is that they know your IP address, and you know that proxy servers no IP address. This free proxy server was maintained sometime by the governments themselves, just to find out the sleeper cells, the terrorist group, the criminal group, and to keep what you can say some control on them. So when you enter using the same proxy chain, be aware that you are under watch. Okay, you are under watch. So my suggestion is that if you really want to use such type of things, use on the virtual machines, Don't try to hack anybody's real machine, because that anybody if object, then it is an offense by Indian Penal Code and even by the international laws, and you may get a jail for that. So even if you are conducting the practicals for this, use the virtual machine. Now from where you will get the virtual machine? There are two virtual machine. One is VMware, okay, very popular is VMware. So you simply go on here and you can download the VMware client, okay, VMware client for these VMware workstation or VMware player, what you can call, for your machine, which is free. VMware player is free, other is paid. Or you can go for Oracle VirtualBox. Oracle VirtualBox. So if you go on Oracle VirtualBox and download Oracle VirtualBox, you can create a virtual network on your PC. And then make some machines from these virtual machines as a target machine, some machines as your what you can say, the attacker machine, and try to execute the program. Once the programs are executed, then use the Kine to investigate what data was communicated, where are the traces and trails and everything, but on virtual. Now if you want to use that on some other person's machines or PC, then you can take written permission of that person, consent permission, even the college PC or server, because that is what necessary, that is what we call as an ethical hacking. Okay, otherwise it is not an ethical hacking. Okay, it is a hacking. Hacking is a crime. Ethical hacking is not a crime. Okay. So that you have to think. Then if you want to search something, a mat plot or I just forgotten the name of that tools. Too many tools. It's quite difficult to remember every. You are in this autopsy. Uh, tool for this is autopsy tool. The name autopsy, if you say, you will show you the body and other things. So you can go for the sleuth kit or autopsy tool is called, which is embedded in the Kine. You don't require to download it or you can say independently for this. So Kine is sufficient to do the forensic. Kali Linux is sufficient to do the ethical hacking. And if you really want the complete package, I suggest that you should call some Debian expert. Debian Linux is the base Linux, which is just a giant version. It's a universal operating system, and if you go with an what can say Debian complete distro, it goes more than 3 or 4 DVDs of 8 GBs. Around 35,000 tools are available on the Debian to do hacking, cracking, and these and that type of things. And all tools are very, very what you can say foolproof tools. Your maximum 90% of ATM machines they uses the Debian system. Kali is just the extract of the Debian, so you can go over the Kali Linux. But if you want the heavyweight champion for these things, you can go for the Debian on Linux itself. If you go to the site of Debian, we know about the Ubuntu and likewise. So Debian is the complete free operating system. If you go on Debian and something, if you go on downloading that Debian thing, Debian say direct, you will get different download Debian things. I am not going to download that. Cancel. Too many systems is there. I think quite a big way to go and learn about the things. So when we go on working on this, we can go further. So you are having two distribution. One is the Kali Linux for ethical or for hacking cracking, or for the penetration testing actually, more sophisticated name. And we are having Kine for forensic investigation. We are having this Kali Linux for this hacking and likewise. So this is what about the different tools that we can use, and primary operations or the tool you can use the Windows operating system. But whenever you create this want to collect any the evidence of the digital type, you should have to prepare the memory first by wiping out all the data from that memory, and then you can press it on it and then make it a write protected, so that nobody can write anything on it thereafter. So generally this data is collected on DVDs, CDs, and then it is kept uh, under proper custody. So this is about the different tools. Tomorrow we will see the theory, and then we will go on doing the practical sessions on the Kine Linux. You have already seen the Blue Monkey tutorial. So what I suggest that if you want, you can go to the Blue Monkey tutorial to learn more about the forensic practicals. It hardly require the coding. Okay, in a very few cases, coding is required in the academic practicals of digital forensic.